what's going on YouTube? I'm going to be talking about how you can keep a man, all right? Because I see a lot of women kind of struggle with this, and they either struggle with it or they don't care about it, but they're still attracted to men. So it's one of the things I'm going to get into today, pretty much.
My love seems like
Now look, first things first, right? Straight up for me. Just being honest with you. First step here. Identify with the man that you were talking to. Meaning, like, you got to understand what type of man you were talking to. What type of man you have, all right? If your guy is the kind of guy that likes to sleep with multiple women, which a lot of us are kind of, to some degree, like that. Well, it's like hardwired, right? But there's a difference between a guy that just likes to sleep with multiple women and a guy that has to. All right? I got a cousin like that just, he can't stay with one woman. And he's always been like that. All right? And that's who he is. If you are dealing with a guy that just likes different women, and I mean really take the time to understand the type of man that you're talking to, the type of man that you're dealing with, the type of man that you have around. You know what I mean? Identify with the man that you have. If you have a gamer man, if you have a man that's a gamer, and that's who he is, understand that's what you're dealing with, all right? Now, I want to throw this in here real quick before I get to rambling on a little too long, all right? Before I get to really taking off with it. Look, none of this stuff is guaranteed. And I think that's the other part about it that I want to express to, you know, I guess the women on YouTube, right? None of this is guaranteed. Like, look, life ain't guaranteed. You getting to work ain't guaranteed. You can get shot walking out of Walmart. You're not guaranteed to live. But somehow when it comes to men, y'all want everything to be in writing, all right? That's why y'all get so crazy about trying to lock somebody down after 2 years of talking to them. Y'all want some type of control. And the fact of the matter is you can't get it. So I'm just being honest with you. I'm throwing this disclaimer in the middle here. Look, a man don't gotta care. This is not foolproof. It's just a high probability of sorts. So just wanted to throw that in there before I got to really running my mouth for real. Next thing, right? Identify with what he wants. All right. Look, a lot of us as dudes, we have things that drive us, right? We are not just sex driven. Like, some of us are sex driven. I mean, and all of us really are sex driven. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the way TV depicts men, like, we're just horny dogs and we don't think about nothing else. We don't got a favorite food. We don't got a favorite TV show. We don't like sports. We're just out here just living the chase, y'all. And that couldn't be no further from the truth. It's like a half truth, so to speak, right? But identify with what that guy wants out of life and add to it. Too often, what we experience is women coming into our lives not adding shit. Like, just, you come into a man's life and you just want a bunch of shit out of it. Meaning, like, and I said I was gonna cuss. Damn it. I'm trying to work on it. Too often you come into a man's life, right? You don't add anything to it but sex. And look, sex is great. Sex is great. But sex only controls like a guy that's not used to getting it. If a man is used to getting sex, you are not gonna be able to use your lady parts to, like, manipulate him into what you want, all right? It's not gonna work, especially with a guy with some level of experience on him. Next thing, right? Identify with a man's character. Say it with me now. Identify with the man's character. The thing with y'all is, y'all are so focused on what y'all want that you don't care about nothing else outside of that. Meaning, like, you don't take the time to get to know this person as a person. Meaning, like, the things that trigger him, the things he's been through in his past, like, you know, the things that he relates to. Because, I mean, look, I come off like I got it together to some degree, but even I have things I get upset about, right? But identify with that man's character. Identify with who he is. And the only way you're gonna be able to do this is over a course of time. All right. So often y'all are so stuck on what y'all want. It's all about me, that you don't get the time, take the time to understand who he is in relation to what you want. Meaning, like, you might want to get married, all right? But you're dating a dude that wants to go to the club all the time and talk to a bunch of chicks, all right? Y'all are probably 9 times out of 10 not gonna mesh very well. And again, I'm dropping this disclaimer. Look, this is not a guarantee. Like, these are just high probabilities, more than likely's, high chance. Like, okay, you're not gonna walk down an alley and get stabbed at night. It's not a guarantee. But if you do it, it's a high probability that it could happen. Now, for what you women actually came for, all right? This is about, I'd say, 40 to 50% of it, all right? If you do this one thing wrong, I'm not saying it's gonna end, but again, we are talking about probabilities here. It's a high probability that it will shorten the lifespan of your relationship. And this is the one part y'all kind of do know, but kind of don't know. Sex. Y'all know men like sex, all right? Y'all know men want sex. What you don't know is what type of sex, what type of stuff he's into, what type of porn he likes. Listen, men are very dark creatures back here. The stuff we say here, like, okay, the things you actually want, that a guy sometimes actually want, you can't tell it to a girl sometimes because of the way y'all react to stuff. Meaning, like, you want to know things about a guy, the real raw truth about men, but when by the time it hits your earlobe and spins around in your brain once or twice, you've already been offended and you're already off it. And I'm talking about the general woman, right? You know men like sex. You don't know what type of sex he like, all right? And then you got to think about it like this, right? Most men's sex drives are higher than women's. Meaning, like, to us, having sex is like grabbing a sandwich from the fridge. Like, men need to feel women need to feel feelings. We are wired very differently, all right? We're not necessarily the biggest on emotion. Like, we have emotions, but it's like more so a respect thing. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But the sex thing, right? You can sit there and be sleeping with a dude and think and this is the thing a lot of y'all mess up on, you feel like because you're giving a man sex that you're giving him the right type of sex, all right? Where you may be a good woman that gives him sex, that woman that stays 40 minutes on the other side of the town is giving him the nasty stuff he really likes. Like, she might lick his ass, and he might really be into that, but he can't necessarily tell you that because of the way you're gonna react to him telling you that he likes his ass licked. You know what I mean? Now, this varies from man to man. Some guys are super kinky. Some of them just want to get laid in general. Some men want to act out fantasies in their mind with you. And if you can give him that, again, we are talking about probabilities. You have a higher probability of keeping that person. A lot of times with men, right? The relationship with the woman can be complete shit. If the sex is good, he will rationalize in his mind as to why he's sleeping with you. Like, you can be on flip the school bus full of kids. If the sex is good, he will tell himself, like, damn, you know what? She probably didn't really mean to kill that bus full of children. Now, for the creme de la creme, the icing on the proverbial YouTube cake, I guess, right? If you had to ask me, this is a big one. And this one, for some reason, just... it's like like over your head, dog. Like, over your head. Look, a lot of y'all don't care about men's respect. Men's respect is like women's emotions, right? You can sit there and if a woman feels the relationship is bad, in her mind, the relationship is bad. The relationship might not actually be bad, but if she feels the relationship is bad, then the relationship is bad in her mind. There's nothing you can do to change it. There's nothing you can do to rationalize it. Nothing. That's just how she feels. That's the end of it. That is the end of it in her mind, right? Men's respect is on a similar plane, all right? Men destroy countries over respect. Men kill people over respect. Men hurt people over respect. All right? You don't really see two dudes arguing in a parking lot too often because men know with other men that it can get violent. See, women walk around and do this shit where y'all, Jesus Christ, my mouth. Women walk around doing this shit where it's like, y'all will scream at a man in public. You will scream at a grown ass 6'6" dude that's 250. You will scream at him and, oh, you bitch ass motherfucker, I can't stand you, you pussy. Like, y'all will sit there and really do that to a dude that can knock your head clean the hell off. Because I don't think women necessarily identify with violence. Most men, when it comes to each other, we identify that initially, right off the bat, if I don't give this man his respect, it's either gonna get violent or it's gonna get stupid, all right? And I'm tired of holding this phone. But most men identify with respect first. You have to, respect has to be like at the top of the mountain, like at all times. Like, it is that serious. It's literally the life and death of your relationship. It'll be the one thing that actually makes him leave, right? Where a lot of y'all get off with this unapologetic woman thing. The thing I don't like about the unapologetic woman thing is that it doesn't include a man's respect. But at the same time, it's like the unapologetic woman wants to be attractive, wants to have as many men as she wants a man to marry her, but still wants to kind of be a bitch at the same time, and the two don't mix. At least, like, okay, if you get what they would call like a beta male, right? If you get a guy that doesn't stand up for himself, doesn't say anything, doesn't push back on anything you say, doesn't challenge you, you can be a bitch and still keep a guy like that. If you have a man with any sort of backbone, that has had any sort of life experience, that has gone through stuff, that has experienced stuff, has had to fight other grown men, and you get the notion to want to start yelling, either one, he's not going to listen to you, or B, he's going to leave, right? Because don't no dude that can kill other men, has the ability to hurt other men, is going to sit there and let some 5'4" woman that's 140 pounds cuss him out. If you are a man of respect, you are not going to let your woman talk to you no kind of way. You're not going to deal with it. Like, we do too much bullshit, go through too much shit, pay too many bills, stand in front of too much stuff. Like, as a guy, right, if you really are a man of substance, 9 times out of 10, your lady calls you with just problems out the blue. Just things that she needs taken care of, right? You're not going to get a dude to do that if you sitting there being disrespectful to him and still thinking for some reason like you can be a cunt bitch and he's going to keep jumping in front of problems for you. That man will leave you over his respect. Whatever, and all of us have different breaking points. But I'm saying that respect thing is one of those things that will completely kill your relationship. It's like a woman's, it's in the same weight as a woman's emotions. It will literally be the death of your relationship if you are sitting there disrespecting your man on a constant. Sorry. My phone was dying, all right? So I had to get in the car. You know, hell with it. Look, I hope a lot of this stuff helped. I don't consider myself like an advice giver, but I'm not a therapist. I'm just a guy that gives therapy, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, I don't consider myself a truck driver. I'm just a guy that drives a truck. All right? But I have an insight. Look, you can do what you want to do with this advice. You can keep being about you all the time, but I'm telling you, you're going to get the same results. And I'll throw one more in there, right? You got to actually deal with the dude that actually wants to be with you and actually wants to work it out. The only thing that makes a guy work anything out with you, actually wants to be with you long term, makes a guy want to, makes a guy want to actually stick with you is a guy that actually wants to be kept. Y'all are trying to keep men that don't care about being kept. They don't care. Like, they don't care if you block them. They don't care if you get upset. And the only thing you can really do about it is kick and scream. All right. But again, that was a little small nugget. But y'all have a good day. All right. Finna go home, clean. I just happened to get up, clean my car this morning. And I'm gonna get to the gym as soon as this girl wake up out of bed. So again, it's from me to you. Take this advice, shove it up your ass, do what you want. All right. I don't care.